Hi, my name is Stephanie Vargas. I am an academic success coach. I help high school and college students do well academically, meaning to get A's and B's and to get more done. I'm doing a series on procrastination, and today's video we will be talking about fear of failure. Go back and watch my last video about why we procrastinate. Listen in as to why we do that, what we're avoiding, what's going on. But this video is going to be about fear of failure. Okay. One of the reasons why we procrastinate, especially if you're a student, is because we are afraid of failing. It's the fear of failure. So, when we go through the school system, an F has a very negative connotation to it. Getting an F is considered bad. It's considered not a good thing. It means that you are failing, that you're not passing. So, failure is something that has been ingrained in us, or actually, not failing slash avoiding failure is something that has been ingrained in us since kindergarten, right? We are graded. A is great, B is good, C is okay, D is not good, and F is definitely not good. Who got in trouble for getting Fs in high school? So there is a real feeling of fear of failure. So what that means is that, we don't even try because we don't even want to fail. Therefore, we procrastinate on whatever that assignment might be. So if there's a class or there's a specific paper that you are interested in submitting, I would say that a lot of students, if you're in your grad school and you're doing your dissertation, you probably don't want to submit your paper to your research professor or your advisor because, well, you don't want to hear any of the comments and you're nervous that it's not going to be good enough, right? So fear of failure, fear that it's not going to be good enough. Um, Another reason why we are afraid to turn in that project or to do that assignment is because we don't want to make a mistake. So therefore, we feel like we have to hold on to this. We have to continue either working on it or putting it off because you don't want to make a mistake. Okay. Our thoughts are really, I'm going to fail. I don't want my professor to read this. I might be embarrassed about it. And so instead of actually going to get the help, um, students a lot of the times put the paper aside and just procrastinate on it. They just put it until the next day, until the next day, until there's no more days left, and you just have to get it done. Okay. So, what happens in fear of failure is we avoid and hide because that's the easier thing to do. Right. It's easier to just avoid the project than to actually sit down and write that paper. I know it's very painful, right? We associate that paper or that project, or whatever that goal that you might have as painful, as something that's going to be really hard. We associate it as something that is going to take up a lot of time, that might be boring, right? So whatever we're associating our paper to be, then it's just easier to hide and to avoid and to not get it done. So we use the excuse of procrastination um, instead of actually getting that paper done, right? We fear failure. We fear the possibility of failing that assignment. And so therefore we just procrastinate. We put it to the side. We wait until the last minute. Okay. So, but what I want to say is that what if there wasn't failure? What if it was just learning? I think that's a very different way of looking at assignments. And it's something that I would tell my students, my clients, the people that I work with in regards to failure. Because the thing is that we have been socialized to believe that failure is a bad thing. But actually, failure isn't a bad thing. What if failure was just an opportunity to see what you needed to work on, where there are gaps in your learning, what you need to readjust or how to readjust in order to do better. Okay. So, fear of failure is one reason why many students procrastinate. They don't submit their work because they're afraid that it's going to be an F. So, why even try? My advice for that is that turning something in is always better than not turning anything in. Getting some type of grade is always better. And it shows your professor, it shows your teacher that you are trying. Even if you do get that exam back and it's an F, or that paper back and it's an F, right? Then you have the opportunity to make those changes. So go ahead and comment below about what are your thoughts about fear of failure. Do you have this? Do you fear failure in your classroom? Do you fear that you're not going to graduate? What are your fears in terms of failing? And do you notice a connection between fear of failing and procrastinating? Are you the type of person that is procrastinating because they don't want to fail? So comment below and stay tuned for the next video.